Welcome to High Performance, the podcast for real estate agents featuring Josh Phegan and Alexander Phillips. Alexander, today we're going to talk about accountability, and for a lot of agents, it's a subject that when they go to a training event, they think, you know what, I really do need to get more accountability, but then they tend to shy away from it. What are some of your thoughts about accountability and what an agent can do to really, make that decision to become much, much better at what they do?
Josh, I think accountability comes back to firstly your goal setting. And our goals is broken down yearly, monthly, quarterly, daily. I've got my goals printed out at home. I have them in my shower. I look consistently back on previous years, what we've done on month and week on week. And I think what accountability does, it keeps you focused and it keeps you motivated on making sure that you continually do better than what you've done previously. And it's important that you adjust, your goals as you go, because you might reach, a monthly goal halfway through the month. You want to keep pushing it so you don't drop back. So I think it's an important part of our business, and it's important to have people around you as well that keep you accountable, and you keep them accountable too.
So there's lots of different things that you can track. What are some of the things that you think that an agent needs to say, you know what, that's a really important measurement?
To me, it's probably, I don't look at listings as keeping us accountable. It's probably more the amount of sales we do and dollar turnover. So as in, how many millions we sell per month, the amount of appraisals we do, all of that, is probably what we look at as main measurements for us.
A lot of people track calls and looking at connections, but one of the things I've been focusing a lot in the coaching of late is actually just the number of appointments. And I've been going back through someone's diary and having a look over the course of the last 30 days about how many appointments they've actually booked. And one of the things that I've identified is that I've got some people that have done 8 appointments in a month, and I've got other people that are sitting at 70 plus appointments in a month. And it's just really hard for you to be able to get significant listings if you're just not doing enough appointments. When you look in a diary, how many appointments would you be aiming for to try to get, if you were just starting out as an agent? And when you get to your level in a career, how many appointments are you kind of doing throughout the course of any given day, throughout the course of the week?
Yeah, we probably average, I'd say, 8 to 10 appointments a day at least. And then you've got open homes on Thursdays and Saturdays, which might be 15 to 20. So I'd say even on a week, we could be doing up to like 70 appointments a week, I would say. As you're starting out, I think that the main thing is building a level of rapport with potential clients. So to me, the only way to do that is good conversations, not on email but on phones and face to face, and creating meetings that you may be able to get in front of people to progress them as a seller or a buyer. And I remember, Josh, one of the best things I learned from you many years ago was we were like about 50 grand off doing a deal. And we just hit a roadblock. He said, why don't you get the buyer in for a chat into the office, talk to them face to face and see if you can get them across the line. We did that and we sold it. So it's about, and I think just from sitting in front of them, we convinced them, we talked to them, real numbers. We gave them, percentage close. There was many things we did with showing them comparable properties, what the property would be worth once I do the renovating, that it was a lot easier for them to go, okay, well, let's just do it. We want to buy it. Here we go. So it's, that to me is really important thing to do.
And what are your thoughts about like having accountability partners, like someone that you're actually accountable to, or are you a big believer that you're accountable to yourself?
I suppose what keeps me accountable is obviously speaking to someone like yourself, Josh. I think looking at your competitors in the marketplace, making sure that you're doing better than them. And also having sort of other mentors, not just within real estate, will always keep you sort of level-headed and goal-focused and making sure that you're actually getting the most out of each day.
But really, it's a big conversation in saying that you do what you say you'll do. And if I said to you, okay, great, my big driver is I'm going to just get on the phones and I'm going to do everything that it takes until I actually book my number of appointments. And then a great estate agent is going to do probably a minimum of at least 3 appointments a day, either buyer appointments or market appraisals or listing appointments. That's 15 over the course of a week. That's 60 over the course of a month. And so what you need to do is you need to make sure that every Friday that you've got consistent measurement, where you look back over the diary over the last 7 days to actually measure the number of appointments that you've done to see whether or not you're going to hit the target. Now, for a lot of people, they shy away from accountability because they're not hitting the numbers. Particularly when there's a commission target out in front. What do you do, when someone shies away from their numbers? How do you get them back to understanding the role that accountability might play in helping them to actually get ahead, even though they're feeling that they're falling more behind?
I think particularly if you look at what you've done in previous years and months, and you look at what's going to happen in the next 90 days, if you don't have any goals in place or accountability, that you just continually drop off. So it's about refocusing, and you might be way behind on where you're at, so you adjust your figures downwards to make it look like it's not such a hard path to reach. And even if you look at, say, new agents within our office and they're looking at, how do I get to 40 deals a year? Well, you break that down, it's only 2.5 sales a month. That's 5 listing appointments, you miss half, you get half. Their numbers aren't that actually hard to reach. So I always find if you look at big numbers, over a year, it looks quite daunting. If you break it down to even on a day-by-day basis, it looks easy.
You've gone through periods where you've gone to just tracking, for example, the number of connected phone calls that you've done during a week. What does that sort of look like for you these days?
We still do, and every single week it's the same numbers. It's 450 to 500 call connects in the office. I call call connects leaving messages because we leave success story messages on people that we speak to. So I suppose the thing is that I look at its consistency. If it's dropped off and it's below 400, I know something's not right. And it might be you're tired, your energy level's low, you're just not present. So then it revamps you for the next week, and it's good for us to keep our office and our agents in the office accountable, because the core numbers sort of leave success clues, I think, and a lot of them are, when they're way off, their sales are way below where they should be.
And so ultimately, this is about learning to work in systems rather than working in emotions. And so if you're an agent that, ultimately you don't have clarity about what number to track, then that can be a major issue. One of the things for you is obviously having a look at the number of open for inspections that you're doing on a Saturday. How come that's been such an important measurement for you in growth in a business?
Because I suppose it tells us on how many sales we're going to be doing every month. And if we're not tracking at least 20 open homes, well, we're not going to be selling 20 a month. And our goal is to do 200 this year, which we're going to be a little bit off, but that's because we haven't done 20 opens month, week in, week out.
I think that's the important measurement, is also that's a significant lead generator for you. That's where you meet all the people. That's actually where you start to be able to get future business, is making sure that you've got consistency around that. So if you're an agent, first of all, you've got to get to your 3 open for inspections every Saturday, ideally get to 5 or 6, then you're putting on an assistant, then you're starting to think about scaling to 10, and then it grows to 15, and it actually grows in those quantities. So make a decision. What's the one number inside of your business that you just need to manage and monitor? And if you just manage and monitor that one number, you'll see significant things happen for you.